So, I was watching Travis Kinley's video today on I failed a drug test. And he said in this video, he said, drugs and trucking don't mix. And I'm a firm believer in that too. Drugs and trucking don't mix. You're throwing away your whole career over smoking a little bit of recreational marijuana. It's bad. So I had one of my students way back when, he was teaming with somebody, and his teammate decided that they were stuck in LA for, I think they were stuck there. They were flatbed. They delivered on Friday midday. Couldn't get a load out of there, so they were set until Monday to pick up their next load. So they were all like, hey, we're going to be here for a while, so let's go ahead and go out to LA, see what's going on. So they went out to LA and they went to have some fun, and they decided, or he decided, hey man, we're in LA, we're stopped for this long. We're going to go ahead and try out some recreational marijuana since it's legal over there. We're stopped for the weekend anyway, so it's not a big deal. So he thought. So he went ahead and did his thing, tried some edibles and stuff like that, and then they got their load. They were going through Salt Lake City, so they're all like, hey, let's run in the Salt Lake City terminal and get some gear that we need for flatbed, like some chains and some stuff that they had to replace. I don't know, whatever they had to replace. So they stopped there, and they pulled him in for a random drug test. So he's like, oh no. He was all like, hey man, before I even take this, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to fail it. So they said, well, we might as well not give you this. You might as well resign. So he went ahead and resigned, and he left. And he ended up getting a job somewhere else, another trucking job. So, it's not good. Like, his teammate was out a teammate now, had to run solo, and ended up that after he got his year with Prime, he went ahead and left and went to another company because he was like, man, solo's not for me. If I'm going to be solo, I want to be more dedicated or, regional, by home, get home more. And I said, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. But back to the story, it doesn't pay. Like, it does. He's lucky that he didn't lose his, get put on his clearinghouse, and then not be able to land another trucking job. Then a close friend of mine that was an instructor, he got a drug test, and he came back and he passed it. So he passed the drug test. So he thought to himself, he said, you know what, they just drug test me. They're not going to drug test me for another year or two. So what he did is he decided that his roommate at the time was on the medical stuff here in Missouri, and decided that he was going to try some medical stuff. Just try it out. Well, the next month, or it might have been a month and a half later, boom, they hit him with a drug test, a random drug test. And ends up that he had it in his system still, so he got terminated. He was a great guy, great instructor, real good guy. I miss him. I miss seeing him out there on the pad. Great guy. Unfortunately, the drugs got him out of here. He was ex-addict, and thankfully that once he did that, he didn't, once he lost his job here, he didn't go down a dark path and, mess himself up. It was on his CDL though. He had to take classes and drug classes and rehab and stuff like that to clear it off of his CDL, just so he could go back and drive again, because companies wouldn't touch him. And once he took the classes and got the rehab and the programs that they required him to take, it took a lot of time, but he finally got back into a truck. And now he's running. It's not for Prime no more. And he's not rehireable by Prime, unfortunately. But he at least got his CDL and is running freight again. So just so you know, trucking and drugs don't mix. It's just like Travis Kinley said. And you know, you worked hard to get the CDL and you're changing your life. Don't throw it away for like a weekend fun. Hey, or my days off. I'm on my days off and I'm going to go hang out with my old friends that still do that, and you know, I'm going to go ahead and do it just once. It ain't going to hurt nothing. Odds are the time that you slip is the time that they call you in here to take a drug test. You know, I've had many drug tests. I had 2 this year already. So I had 2 random drug tests already this year, and I passed them both. You know, it happens. I think pretty much any company you go, they do random drug tests every so often. And just so people are under the understanding, because I get this question a lot, does Prime do a hair test or a urine? And we do the urine test. So you know, that answers that. As of right now, it's 4/19/2022 if you're watching this video, and as of right now, it's a urine test. And I think for one, it's cheaper to do a urine test is why we do it, and number 2 is we understand that what you did, you know, in your past, we kind of look at this as a new beginning. So whatever you did in your past, let it be your past. We're talking, hey, you're completely clean right now. Let's get you here. Let's get you, make sure that you're good, give you a test, and put you in a truck and let you get a new start to your life. Let you better yourself is, I think, what Prime kind of does, you know. And you got to be careful what you're taking out there too, because I'm also going to tell you that if you take prescription narcotics, like your doctor prescribes you some narcotics, you better get a doctor's note of what you're taking, what they prescribed you, and get it sent into the to the human resources at Prime. That way, if they do drug test you and they find some kind of narcotics from a drug test, that, you know, you're going to be in the clear because they found out that it's the prescribed stuff that you're on. So don't get caught up in taking prescribed medication and then not having a doctor's note in place saying that you're on that. Also, those prescription meds that you kept because you're all like, look, I didn't take them all, I don't need them anymore, and I'm not going to take them, and then you get hurt or something, and you're all like, man, I'm in pain, I'm going to take that prescription med that I had from the past. That shows up on your drug test, guess what? You're gone. So be careful with that stuff too. We don't want to lose anyone because they got hurt and they had some old prescription meds laying around that they're all like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take this again because it helps for pain. And then you get terminated from that. You know, a drug test does not lie. And a drug test, it's only by the facts. Like, it's all like, the facts is this is here, this is showing up on your drug test, and this is why we're letting you go. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can say. Once you take that test and you fail it, it's over with. You can't go back in time and say, look, I got this doctor's note because I take these prescription meds and he wrote me this. Like, no, it needs to be in your file before you take that drug test. Be smart. Get it on the file. If you have to take any kind of narcotics for any pain that you had or whatever, you maybe had an operation and they prescribed you some medication for that, make sure it's on file. I'd hate to lose anybody over a drug test. You know, what they do is they send your urine to 2 different labs is what they do. And they send one to one lab and one to another lab. That way they have results A from this lab, results B for this lab, and they're going to come out with identical results, and that's how they're going to look at it. If one lab comes back and it's not good results and the other lab's good results, they're going to retest you. It's going to be a missed test. So they're going to retest you, and then they're going to send it off to 2 labs again and make sure that they both came back the same. So you got it going to 2 different labs. It's going to be hard to fight, and with the clearinghouse and everything, that is your record. It's going to be on there. So say no to drugs and drive those semis. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, put them down there in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell. Get my latest lives. Get my newest videos. Also, in the description, there's a link to fill out an application and get my recruiter. My recruiter's good. Don't forget to drop that referral code, COXDJO. Also, my phone number is 417-894-8098. Drop me a call, text me, something.